Have you ever seen a face so beautiful it could launch 1,000 films? A smile that could light up the darkest cinema hall? Today, we're journeying back to the golden age of Indian cinema to tell the story of a woman who was more than just an actress. She was a phenomenon. This is the timeless, tragic, and truly magical story of Madhubala, the Venus of Indian cinema. On Valentine's Day, 1933, in Delhi, a baby girl named Mumtaz Jahan Begum Dehlavi was born into a humble Pashtun family. Little did anyone know, this child was destined to become one of the most mesmerizing icons the world would ever see. Her early life wasn't easy. After her father lost his job, the family was forced to move to Bombay, the city of dreams, in search of a better life. Poverty was a constant shadow, and to support her family, young Mumtaz, at just 9 years old, began her career as a child artist known as Baby Mumtaz. Even then, something about her was special. Her radiant smile and expressive eyes held a promise of the star she was to become. Her big break came in 1947, at the tender age of 14, when she was cast as the lead opposite the legendary Raj Kapoor in Neel Kamal. The film was a success, but it was the 1949 thriller Mahal that truly launched her into superstardom. Playing a mysterious, ghost-like beauty, she captivated the entire nation. It was for this film that she adopted the name that would become immortal, Madhubala, meaning sweet belle. The name was a perfect fit. By the early 1950s, she was the undisputed queen of Bollywood. Her charm was effortless, her laughter was infectious, and her eyes could tell an entire story without a single word. She wasn't just acting, she was living on screen, and audiences couldn't get enough. While Madhubala's films were filled with fairy tale romances, her personal life was a story of deep love and profound heartbreak. While filming Tarana in 1951, she fell deeply in love with her charismatic co-star, Dilip Kumar. Their on-screen chemistry was electric because it was real. They were soulmates, dreaming of a future together. However, Madhubala's father, who managed her career, was extremely protective and controlling. He disapproved of their relationship, creating a painful rift that ultimately tore them apart. Their love story, which played out both on and off the screen, became one of the most tragic tales in Bollywood history. Years later, Dilip Kumar himself would confess that she was the only woman he ever truly loved. Despite the personal turmoil, Madhubala's career soared. The 1950s were her golden era, and she delivered hit after hit. She could be the hilarious modern woman in comedies like Mr. and Mrs. 55, the bubbly free spirit in Chalti Ka Naam Gadi, or the poignant lover in Barsat Ki Raat. But her magnum opus, the film that sealed her legacy, was the epic historical drama Mughal-e-Azam. She portrayed Anarkali, the court dancer who dares to love Prince Salim, played by none other than Dilip Kumar. Her performance was pure poetry, defiant, vulnerable, and absolutely unforgettable. The iconic scene where she dances in chains, singing Pyar Kiya to Darna Kiya, Why Fear When You Are in Love, is a masterclass in acting. The irony was heartbreaking. By the time the film was released in 1960, their real-life romance had already ended. The passion you see on screen was fueled by real, lingering pain. Behind her dazzling smile and on-screen energy, Madhubala was hiding a devastating secret. Since her teens, she had suffered from a congenital heart defect, a hole in her heart. In that era, it was considered inoperable. She was often in immense pain, and the grueling demands of her profession made her condition worse. Yet, she pushed on, driven by her passion for cinema and her duty to her family, who depended on her income. In 1960, she found a new companion, marrying the famous singer and actor Kishore Kumar. He loved her dearly and tried to provide her with a peaceful life, but her illness cast a long, dark shadow over their marriage. She became increasingly bedridden, and after 1964 she could no longer work. Madhubala spent her final years in quiet seclusion, a prisoner in her own home, surrounded by posters and memories of her glorious past. Even as her health failed, her spirit and her breathtaking beauty remained. Friends who visited her recall her being cheerful and full of hope, even dreaming of one day directing a film of her own. But it was a dream she would never realize. On February 23, 1969, just 9 days after her 36th birthday, Madhubala's fragile heart finally gave out. The brightest star in the Indian cinematic sky had faded, leaving behind an eternal glow. Decades after her passing, Madhubala's legacy is stronger than ever. She is often compared to Hollywood is Marilyn Monroe, both luminous icons whose lives were a whirlwind of glamour, love, and tragedy, ending far too soon. Her influence continues to touch new generations. In 2004, Mughal-e-Azam was meticulously restored and released in color, allowing a new wave of fans to experience her magic on the big screen. In 2017, her immortal portrayal of Anarkali was honored with a wax statue at Madame Tussauds in Delhi. She is remembered not just for her unparalleled beauty, but for her incredible emotional range and her ability to connect with the audience on a deeply personal level. Madhubala's story is a powerful reminder that life is about more than just fame and fortune. It's about a woman who lived with fierce passion, worked with unwavering devotion, and loved with all her heart, even when life was unkind. Her laughter still echoes in the halls of cinema history, and her radiant face remains a symbol of timeless grace. She was, and always will be, the heartbeat of Indian cinema, the unforgettable, the eternal Madhubala. Thank you so much for watching. If you were moved by Madhubala's story, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories about the legends of the silver screen. See you next time.